your numbers. Learn more at flashforwardsites.com.
Welcome to Networking Arizona with host Carol Blonder. You'll hear interviews with businesses located throughout the valley. Networking, it makes a difference.
If I traded it all.
Welcome to the show, everyone. We're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We're going to be sharing the show afterwards. I love my show. Why do I love my show so much? Because, first of all, I get to make people really nervous and happy at the same time. I really like about that. But what I really like about it is that I get to give a lot of information for people out there, and I think that's what's so cool about it. My first guest has been on my show many times, and I have with me Sandy Greenlee, and she's the owner of Angels Cremation and Burial. Welcome back to the show. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, but really why you like coming here and talking about what you do.
Well, I love the funeral industry. It's my favorite thing. I got into the industry because I lost a lot of family members, and I didn't like the way I was treated, and so I wanted to make a difference. I've owned the mortuary since 2005. I've worked in the industry since 2000. I love educating and helping people. My favorite line is, I know you have an insurance policy, and I know it was planned for your burial or your cremation. How much money have you just lost when your loved one just passed? And so you need to remember that maybe that insurance policy was not to be elaborate, but was to be able to live after your loved one has passed. Do you really want that, or did somebody else tell you you needed that? Mm-hmm. Those are things that we come up in our conversations all the time.
What I also know about you is that, and I'm going to just talk about this if it's okay, and we're just going to do it because now you have no choice. But anyway, you have been through something very similar. You have already several times, but even just recently, and even though you, who is a person who knows so much and is basically prepared and has other people get prepared, stuff happens.
Oh, amen. I don't care how prepared you are, there's always something that falls through the cracks. I mean, I've lost everybody in my life, from my husband recently to my children. I've lost two, to aunts and uncles and grandparents and parents. And there is always something that you miss. And I don't know that I know it all. In fact, I always say if I don't learn something every day, it's not been a good day. And that, to me, is what makes life interesting and exciting, is learning. I mean, I learned last week about a lady who can send loved ones out of the country in a drop of a hat. She had it done in 4 hours. I've never been able to get that done that quickly in my life. And so I learned from her how to do it and who to call. And I've always called the inner line from the airport, but you call somebody else. And it was so heavenly to learn how to do things better and quicker and more efficient.
Another thing that we talk about a lot is how people here in America don't think that it's going to happen to us.
Oh, yes. Everybody thinks it's going to happen to somebody else tomorrow. And the bad thing is, especially if you want cremation, to do your paperwork first. Because once you die, you're at the mercy of all of your legal next of kin. So if me being single, now that my husband has passed, if I don't have my plans black and white types that I'd sealed and delivered, I'm at the mercy of my 2 children. Now, I'm very blessed. I'm really close to my 2 children. I have families in my world that are not close to their legal next of kin. And so we're putting an obituary in the newspaper and waiting for 15 days so that we can cremate. Or I had one recently where one child wanted cremation and one child wanted burial, and guess what? It's not going to happen, because cremation has to have the majority of the legal next of kin. And so the legal next of kin is, first of all, your spouse, and if you don't have one, then it's all of your children. I don't care if they're in Africa or if they're in Japan or Taiwan, they're still your children. I don't care if you've disowned them or they've disowned you, they are legally still your children. Then after children, it goes to your parents. After parents, it goes to your siblings, and after that, I have to look it up. I can never remember after that. But just think about it. If you have 5 kids and only 2 of them want you to be cremated and 3 of you want you to be buried, and if you have not got your paperwork done and notarized, you're not going to be cremated. You're going to be buried.
And on top of that, that's a long time to wait, too. So you're going to be in a cold place for a while as well, hanging out.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't have all the legal next of kin and they want to be cremated, for example, you have 5 children and 2 of them are the only children you have that you have any communication with, you don't know anything about the other 3, then you'll be hanging out in my cooler for 15 days. Or sometimes people don't even know about this for 2 or 3 days, and so now it's almost a month. It's almost 3 weeks. But the law says if you cannot get the legal next of kin, then you have to post an obituary and wait for 15 days. Now, we're very blessed because we have a website that we consider to being posting, so you're not paying for a newspaper or paying for somebody else's to have a website. Because a lot of places do charge for obituaries. And so it's so imperative. If you want to be cremated, sign it, notarize it. There's a wonderful website. It's called the Attorney General's website. There is a power of attorney on the website that all you have to do is download it, fill it out, take it to somebody to have it notarized. If somebody's going to charge you and you don't have the money, come to my office. I will notarize it for free.
That number to call them is 480-962-6435, which is 96 Angels. So 480-962-6435. It's Angels Cremation and Burial.com. Go up on that website because there you're going to see a lot of information. I love the way that you did that there and made it great information for people. But I also hear what you just said. I get goosebumps because, so many people, listen, you want to pay whatever you want to pay, go ahead. That's fine. But I think what you're all about is about saving people money where you do not have to spend that kind of money for something that really, you don't really have to.
Well, I think the important thing is to educate people. I don't convince people to not buy things that they want, but I educate people so they know what they truly want and what they're willing to pay for. I know one of Carol's favorite words are, how many hours are you going to look at that casket and how much are you willing to pay for it? I've said that to families before, but Carol always brings that up. I have to chuckle about it.
It's funny, but it's true. How much money are you willing to pay for something that you're going to look at for 30 minutes,
or
and
2
then
hours.
It goes down, and then that's it. But the bottom line is that, again, I think here the most important thing is being prepared. If that's what you want and knowing that's what you want, that's fine. You still got to be prepared.
Amen.
And again, everything that you do, please make sure that you notarize it. Say that again.
Notarize it, because if you have a witness, we don't know if that's your best friend, if they are forging it, if they put the wrong date on it. I had one friend that's witnessed it as the day after they died. And they thought we should accept it because it was signed by a witness and it was dated, but I haven't figured out how they witnessed it the day after the person was deceased.
Well, the best thing to do also, you do consultations with people all the time. It's all about talking, and you want people to be prepared, not to be calling you at the last second.
That's true. I would much rather let people be educated before they're in that crisis situation, because when you're in that crisis situation, it is so much more difficult. One of my best friends called me this morning and his son is deceased, and he said, so what do I do? And I said, first of all, you take care of yourself today and we'll talk tomorrow. And he said, no, I need to know what to do. I'm going to go to work. And I said, no, you're not going to go to work today. You're going to stay home and take care of yourself, and then we'll talk tomorrow.
And you know what? You will walk them through that process, and that's what you're there for. Just today when I called you, you said, it doesn't matter where you call me, Carol, we're all going to answer the phone, because that's what we do here. Because people call it the most unbelievable hours because it can happen at any time, right?
That's right. We don't have an answering service, so you always get somebody on the phone. And if you happen to get a voicemail and you don't get a return call in 10 minutes, there is something wrong with the electronic system. I guarantee it, because we return calls in 10 minutes.
What are your final words for today?
I love you. Take care of yourself. And remember to be prepared.
The number to call them is 480-962-6435. Go up on their website. It is Angels Cremation and Burial.com. So much information there. I know it's a quickie. The next time you come on, we're going to do it longer. And you know what, guys? Here's the thing. It's information. Call there. Find out. Even if you think you're prepared, you may not be. Again, it's Angels Cremation and Burial.com.